Focus with Kudzie Sharara on the Champions League Breakfast.
21 minutes before 8 is our time right here on Capitalk. Welcome to Business Focus, where we discuss what's happening in the world of business. Good morning to you, Kudzie. How was your weekend?
Good morning, Tinashe. My weekend was all right.
Great.
What did I do over the weekend?
Yeah. What did you do?
I think I spent...
You spent the whole weekend at home?
No. I wasn't at home. I visited Domboshawa.
Okay.
And they worked on that road, but just after Mberechen, and then they stopped. But it was they had really done a good work. Maybe they've channeled all the resources to the roads that lead to the SADC summit. I'm not sure. Like they did with some of the roads that, for example, the Harare Chirundu road.
Yeah.
Some of the contractors, they have since stopped, and they are now working. All resources are being channeled to towards the SADC summit, except those big guys who have more resources that are still doing the Harare Chirundu road. I understand Fossil is still on the ground, and they're going to do two-way from Harare to the toll gate to Chinoi. Just after Nyabira, there's a toll gate there.
There's a toll gate,
plaza, some call it. They're going to do heavy two-way traffic, so it's good. And then I hear that even along the Harare Mazoe road, at Mvuru 10 off, they're going to do it will be four-way rather, right? Yeah, it's four-way. Yeah.
Okay, great. We're looking forward to
impressive
all this. Developments.
Yeah.
There's just need for patience.
Yeah.
We need, 3 weeks. I said, let's be patient.
Yeah, so that they
do. Museum. Yeah. It's gonna be a nice road.
Yeah, it links Warren Park to Kambuzuma. Yeah, that road. Yeah, that road was really terrible, and I'm happy that they're working on it.
Okay, so today is the 8th of July, 2024. It's exactly 3 months after ZIG was introduced. What's your assessment, Kuds?
Thank you, Tinashe. So the things, or maybe what we can use to assess the performance of ZIG. You start with the exchange rate itself, whether it has been stable, whether it is strengthening, or whether it is weakening. So when you look at the exchange rate, I think everybody agrees that it is stable. When you look at whether you're looking at the official exchange rate, which as of today is at the official exchange rate as of today is at 13.69. It started at 13.56. Now it's 13.69. You could say it is stable. And then you look at the parallel market exchange rate. I think it went to 20 just after introduction of ZIG. It went up the ZIG weekend, and then but it has been stable there between 18, 19, 20, those rates. If you are, for those who are still brave enough to play in that on the parallel market, it's those are the rates that you hear, 18, 19, 20. So in terms of stability, it has stabilized. And then you look at the other point you can look at is at inflation. What is happening to the price of goods and services in our supermarkets and in every way we do transactions? I think again you agree with me. Inflation has shown us, the official inflation figures from Zimsted has also shown us that at some point we actually had negative inflation. At some point it was like the latest one is for ZIG, it's 0.0%. So again, that's stability. Yes, sometimes people don't believe the official figures from Zimsted, but maybe you can tell us your feel when you go into the store, the prices that you see today or the prices that you saw 3 months ago. Are you still within that level of pricing, or they've gone up too much, or they've gone down also? So these are the what you use to then measure some of the things rather that you use to measure the success of ZIG. I mean, Shumba, where you buy your goods and services, the prices, are they stable? Right, we are now talking about the real feel.
But stability is kukonzerwa nekuvasikasi kwaro here because kutaura chowadika irebepa rashikwanika hapana kuonorwana kana.
Yeah, so I was going to come to so these are the positives that I've seen, that it is stable. Now we are talking about its availability. Really coherent. There are two factors or maybe 2 points that I want to put there. If, for example, you know, a currency is what is you use for business. If you want to expand, if you want working capital, if you want as a consumer, maybe your salary is not enough to buy a certain item 100%. You know, there is what is called lending, where you go to the bank and say, okay, I want some ZiG, or I want some money to fund a certain project. The loans are seen to be expensive. I think it's 20%. Most banks are also not giving out loans. So I was one executive with a wholesale I was asking him about something else totally different, and he said one other issue that you need to research on or to investigate on is the availability of ZiG loans. It seems that banks are not giving out loans, ZiG loans, as much as people would want. Not only ZiG loans, even the US dollar loans, banks are not giving as much as the business community, as individuals would want. So that's a drawback on ZiG if it's not available to oil the economy, because it's needed. So yes, you're right, Shumba, kuti riri kuwanika here. Then pane kushayikwawo kwariri kuita, not because ariko kumabhengi, inini ndinogona kunge ndinayo mari muaccount mangu ZiG yandatambira ari mazig anditi, but inini kana ndisina need or ndisina kuenda kunoita withdraw mazig yayo in form of physical notes and coins, then the money that I have in my account will remain in my account, and I'm not going. If I don't withdraw, it means I can't buy kuma tuck shops. I can't buy kuna vendor Wem Street because mari yangu inini iri mu electronic money, right? So if I don't withdraw inini ndinayo, maybe because I find no reason why I should do. Ngatore example yemunhu ane kana kuti ane mota yake anodriver anditi to buy fuel anotenga akunongodiwa ma-US, saka ana motive yekuwithdraw mazig, right? Munhu iyeye anongoona kuti maprice emshop ne kuma-tuck shops hazvina kunyanyosiyana anditi anogona kuti ini ndongochuza hangu kuswipe, which means kuti ma-physical notes and coins vacho vanofanira kunge vachima-withdraw havasi kuma-withdraw. And then toenda kuna vendor uyo ari unbanked. Nezuro I was reading a report over the weekend yakanyorwa nemwana Sharon, aitaura kuti 3.7 million Zimbabweans vari unbanked.
They don't have bank accounts. 3.7 million Zimbabweans. Saka vanhu ivavavo kana vachitrader on a daily basis, they are using cash. Whether and my US, because my US akanakira kuti even ari unbanked anoreceive mari remittances from the diaspora anditi anongono withdraw pa money transfer agents anditi ototanga kuita transaction, but hazviitike kuti chi aenda uno withdraw mazigi kubengi because uko kwakuna ari kumutumira mazigi and yeye ana account. So you find kuti ukaenda kumbare, ukaenda kuma-tuck shops, ukaenda kumaraini, zigi riri kunzi harisi kubatika. Why harisi kucirculate? Vanaro are just preferring to go kuma-formal retail chains anditi ikoko ndo kwavari kunotenga. That's why some are now saying, I saw a research report that was done by someone achinyora mune one of our local publications achiti anzi retail outlets, your formal retail outlets, your Pick n Pays, your OKs are now the dumping ground for ZiG. They are not necessarily the dumping ground, but ndoko vanhu kwavari kuprefer kungonotenga, and then vosara vakabata mazig akawanda, right? So the only challenge Shumba with regards to ZiG, despite the stability, but pasapa ndezi hanzi madziva anenge ane macalm waters pamusoro apa, but pasapa zviri kuitika vanenge paine zviripo. And the other aspect vemasupermarket zvavanoita manje handi vanoda kunohodha vari kuenda, which is the other challenge iri pazig. Supermarket akabata mazig ake atenga patisana swiper tinasha swiper kudza swiper ina supermarket on anoda kuenda kunohodha manje kuna manufacturer, right? Manufacturer anogona kuti okay, fair and fine, I will accept the ZiG, right? But manufacturer uyu ane kwaanoda kunohodhawo futi. Now zvakudependa kuti manufacturer kwaari kunohodha kunze kwenyika here kunoda foreign currency. Kana muri muno munhu kwaari kunohodha kwacho, munhu wacho waari kunohodhera wacho iye pache zvake anodawo foreign currency here kuti aproduce. I was reading a report yeCZI handiti inoona kutiradza the level of imports dzinodiwa nemacompanies. So vari kuti iwo ma-raw material imports, pane macompany or maindustry anodependa on raw materials dziri imported. For example, vari mupharmaceutical industry, 87% of their raw materials, vari mupharmaceutical industry, 87% are imported, right? So iwewe kana uri supermarket vachida supermarket yaane mazigi ikada kuenda kunohodha kana vaine, for example, vaine ka like one of the major retail outlets ine ma-pharmacies mukati mavo, kana vachida kunohodha vari kuenda kune munhu anoimporta 87% of his raw materials. Munhu yacho vataura kuti ini guys ndoda zigi, and challenge iri kuitika manje havasi kukwanisa kuconverta mazigi aya into US dollar for imports, right? One manufacturer angachiti anobata mumwe manufacturer wataita conversation naye paweekend akati anobata roughly about 15 million zig I think akati per month handiti, but ari kuwana less than 10% anada kuiconverta into US dollars, and yet iye industry yake or business rake rinodivata almost 100% on imports. Yes. So you go to printing, the printing industry, right? 73% of their raw materials are imported. So ivavo tikanotenga kwavari nezig, right? They need to convert that money into US. Izvozvo zviri kunetsa futi. Asati zvagadzirisika izvozvo. You go to the apparel industry, 70%. You go to the rubber and plastic, 67%. So all these are the challenges that are still there, but we welcome the stability. I welcome the stability. I am able to plan. I'm able to make decisions, but we need to oil the economy because we are going to have casualties.
Somebody's coming through and saying that just on the assessment of the 3-month period yezigi Kudzi wakambozvionawo here kuti anzi mari yacho inokurumidza kubvaruka even kubata tsvina?
Andisati ndazviona because I haven't interacted much with the zig, and for not because ndikuishaya bank. Now I'll be honest, and I have gone to the bank several times ndichitoa mamwe ma-transactions, and I've seen panenge pachinzi pari kutorwa mazigi pasitorina queue, but the other day I went there and then ndakamira muqueue, then ndichitoti arega ndimbotorawo mazigi, but ndakamira muqueue imomo, then in fact it wasn't a queue anyway, ndakamira pamberi munhu wanaisevwa pamberi pangu, but ndakamira ipapo for the few seconds andandipo ndikatora zigi iri handiti ndikada kuenda naro ndonopa madhamu kuti vatenge madomasi 10 zigi inobva yatonzi 50 cents. Zvakutodhura. So I would rather transfer the money to her, vonoswipe zvawamaokei madomasi acho.
So enough of the idea.
Vonoswipe ma-apples or whatever. Yes.
Ari mustreet akwanise kudya zigi kana kudya US dollar because it's not bankable. Iko kama kwenga kaskiri kutuma ATM taigara muroad tete
tuma swipe machine to digi to.
Yeah, we have suggested it and hopefully they're listening and they'll implement. Remember at some point takavati ngavaende munowanikwa kunana Copacabana mbari chichi, and I'm happy they've implemented that. Of course maybe such a widespread, but in Harare they've started putting to my mini kiosks turiko kunana vehomelink vanenge vakatogara panze vanoda macoins, uchida macoins wotovapa ma-US ako ningirika. If you want to swipe and get the coins, it's happening. So yeah, they are implementing some of the things that we talk about here, and hopefully that one, I think that one will also be a game changer if they are to implement it, because I think they want electronic money more than someone told me, like for now takaudzonzi kune 20 zigi 50 zigi 100 zigi, but aisati yachi yauya. Saka I'm sure vari kutya kuisa mabigger notes, saka ngavachiita electronic money yo kwene twitoto tumamini kwenga itoto vanhu vongoita ma-tape card.
Someone is actually saying kuti hanzi sometimes tinotomada maziga, but mabhengi zvaanozotiitawo zvakanyanya unopiwa 100 zigi ari macoins.
Yeah, of course. I think you need to banks. You need to ask mabanks they need to ask munhu kuti uri kuda chii
Coins or notes.
ndokupa chii
Or half,
20 half here 20 uri kuida macoins here because kana ndiwo 100 zig shamwari unoisa pai unobharira homwe ka
inoda uchinorora
Yeah.
ari macoin
All right, but because of time, let's quickly jump. We're talking about the stability of ZiG, Kudzi. Let's jump and look at the gold production. How is it like?
Yeah, I think it's improving, Tinashe, because at some point we were fearing that we will not be able to meet the targets. Remember, they are targeting about 40 tons, which we failed to achieve last year. Last year, they were targeting 40 tons as well, but we only managed to do 30.1 tons. This year, we are slightly below than what we were producing last year. So, cumulatively, for the first 6 months of the year, the country has produced 13.78 tons of gold, which is below the 14.1 tons that were produced last year, same period, for the first 6 months of the year. So we are slightly below. Hopefully we'll recover. There was an issue where the gold producers were now being charged VAT and the like, and we saw deliveries to Fidelity also coming down. Now that they've made some changes, hopefully we'll start to see gold deliveries increasing. For example, in the month of in the second quarter, deliveries went up to 7.7, which was 28% more than what was delivered in the first quarter, which was 6.04 tons. So we are seeing an improvement in terms of gold production. Remember that gold is one of our biggest forex earners. The other one is the platinum group of metals and or minerals. And in that aspect, the prices for the platinum has been significantly lower than prior year. So, but in terms of gold, it has been on a bull run. It has beaten previous records this year. At some point, it was trading at 2,435, which is really, really good. And we're talking there about even those who invested in gold coins when they were first introduced at 1,823. Now it's more than 2,300 for the gold coins. They've made a significant gains there in terms of their gold coins because of the good gold prices. So if we were to ramp up production of gold when prices are this high, then we stand to benefit more in terms of that. But it comes also with the other miners are complaining, especially the platinum miners, where, for example, they are saying that the royalties are too high. Remember that this year royalties went up by 180%. From 2.5% to 7% this year, and the miners are saying it's too high. That increase of about 5 percentage points is too high. They want that to be reduced. For example, they are saying they have to be determined by the prices of platinum. They are saying royalties should be 3% if prices are below 1,100 and 5% if prices are above 1,100. So this is what the platinum miners are asking to say, please reduce the royalties because we are on the brink of cutting down on production because of the high costs. Same applies to diamonds as well, where the miners are saying the royalties of 10% are too high and they must fall to 7% because, for example, in South Africa, the royalties there are at about 5%. You also go to the lithium miners who are also saying royalties of 5% are too high. We need them to be reduced to 2%. So on one side, we've got the miners, Tinashe, who are complaining to my royalties akanyanya kukwira. Ma royalties ndo marinonziwo kana muna inobatwa ne government as part of benefit yedu as a people from our minerals. Now the miners are saying these royalties are too high. I don't know what people think. Vanhu unonzwa tichikombelera magold redu rungoendera mahara, ma foreign nationals varunge vachitenga mamines vachitora minerals edu chichi handiti. Then government says, okay, we are not people are saying we are not benefiting enough. Let's put up the royalties so that we benefit more. And then we hear also the miners now complaining. So I don't know. There is need for a balancing act so that as much as these mineral resources are being mined from Zimbabwe, there is also benefit for the country, for the communities in which they are being mined. There is need for a balancing act on that. I know there are also other taxes that are there on top of the royalties, but the royalties is what we are using to build our reserves. Tinashe my reserves are beka zig, whether we are baking zig or not, but we are building reserves as a country. And remember, Embon's 285 million. Yapa 370 million as per report Sunday Mail. So gold Zig is now backed by $370 million worth of minerals and the US dollar.
Just briefly, Kudzi, because our time here, we have less than 30 seconds to go. Anzi, Kudzi, panobuda platinum pa border, inenge iri platinum chete ere or group of metals. Is that not a leakage?
It's not a leakage because, for example, I'm not sure about the other miners, but Anazimplas, one of my results, and to ukatuta financial reports, one got to gold, Rangaka wanda say, cobalt, Engaka wanda say, rhodium, Engaka wanda say, palladium, Engaka wanda say, platinum, Engaka wanda say. And this was young miners are recalled to one it at the same area, but Anazimplas very listed, so they are a bit transparent.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kudzi. We would have wanted to discuss more, but time is not on our side. Thank you so much for today. We'll discuss more tomorrow.
Thank you, Tinashe.